Hey everybody, and welcome to part 2, or episode 2 rather, of my Final Fantasy V playthrough. And we are going to be continuing right where we left off. And we left off right outside the Wind Temple. So, I love the Wind Temple. Temple? I love the Wind Temple because it's a great introduction to the game. And also... Okay, that don't work. I was just testing something. So, the Wind Temple is your tutorial dungeon. And it is a very balanced tutorial dungeon, in my opinion. But also, check settings real quick. I knew it. Every time. So every time you load the game, it will switch from wait to active. I want to keep it on active, but wait does make sense. We're going to still keep it active. So, let's quickly check everyone's equipment. Everyone has really low defense, which isn't terrible, but it could be better. Also, since we are going into the Wind Temple, I'm going to play as Lena, because it makes complete and utter sense that we would. Dang it. Ow. But the reason I like this temple is twofold, actually. Number one, I love the layout of this temple. It looks great in the remaster, but it looks pretty damn good in the original as well, although I believe the textures in the original are a lot more expanded, meaning they take up more of the space in the dungeon, whereas in this version I think they're more compressed to look more like tiles and not just one slab of texture. But what I really love about this room is the fact that you can see the advisor to the king and the librarians just panicking in the corner of the room, or the corner of the building. And I love it because two of them are pacing and the rest are just standing in place fidgeting around. It makes a great sense of immersion when you walk in and just see like these relatively experienced people panicking like this. It really lends to the tension of, oh my god, what have we gotten ourselves into, you know? And the adventure starts. I don't think there is anything in this room to search for, but we can always come back here if we miss something. But if we look here. There are 4 chests in this dungeon, which I want to grab all of them. One of them has a tent in it. I think another one has a weapon or a shield or something like that, and I can't remember what the other 2 have. But I do want some of the chests that are in this temple. We should get an encounter soon, too. Yep. Ooh, it survived. There's the tent. And now the next room should be a warp room, or save room rather. Yep. So these rooms are completely pointless in this version of the game. They're incredibly useful in the original versions of the game, like the PS1 version, probably even the Game Boy version. But although with the Game Boy version, I guess all you could do is just close the Game Boy and have it go into sleep mode. But in this version, these are kind of pointless because all you have to do is go into the menu and go right down here to quick save. So these are pointless in this version. So there's another chest. Probably should have killed the Black Goblin first. We gotta go back down, because there's a chest over there. Nope. Oh, it's just Black Goblins. There it is. There's a piece of armor, which means there we go. Fairly easy, or fairly easy. So there's the boss. There's another chest. And now we have the big boy himself. And this guy is a pretty fun fight, to be honest. Alright, let's just take out these guys first. Alright, attack, you defend, you attack, you defend, you defend, you defend, items, you recover HP, no. You recover HP. You attack. Actually, no. You defend. You attack. Defend. Item. Potion. Oh, well, she died. Oh, I accidentally attacked. Seven. No, that's fine. So we just wait now. Now we can attack. And he's dead. A really easy boss, all things considered. And Lena is dead, but we could use a Phoenix down on her. But we're not going to, because why not? But we are going to put him up front, since Lena is dead. Oh, mini wizard. Gotta kill him. Mini wizards can mess you up. Oop, staff time. Attack +9. Attack, still. We have a use for the staff in time. Now keep in mind where all of these are shown. Wind. No, essence of water. The wind temple just broke. Why did I say wind? Earth? Yep. Alright, so little bit of a history on the Pixel Final Fantasy games. The first 5 Final Fantasies all share the same concept of a story. It's always the 4 warriors of light, save the kingdom, save whatever, fight the evil. So, when a lot of people talk about the Pixel games, they always say that they just feel too similar from one another, and I concur. They do, in fact, feel ridiculously similar, especially if you grew up on these games and you played them, like, one after another. Which is a shame. It's a pretty big flaw with the Pixel games. However, there is a shining star in that, like, overall flaw. Number one, Final Fantasy V was the first one to have any sort of deviation from that, where you are still the 4 warriors of light, you still share, like, the hope of mankind, you still go on a journey to defeat the big bad. But this was the first Final Fantasy that had an attempt at a storyline and didn't really have a, how should I say this, a truly happy ending like all the other games. I mean, Final Fantasy II didn't really have that happy of an ending, and there's a lot of death in Final Fantasy II, so there's that. But a lot happens in Final Fantasy V. A lot more happens in Final Fantasy VI. Like, everyone talks about Final Fantasy VI because it was legitimately the first video game to have a potent story, and the story was first and foremost. Or, well, front up. The story was first and front. But in my opinion, Final Fantasy V is the first game to truly attempt at a heartfelt story and immersive world feel. But I probably would completely change my opinion on that if this game had been my 5th journey into the Pixel games. Like, I've played Final Fantasy 1, I've played Final Fantasy 2, haven't played Final Fantasy 3, I haven't played Final Fantasy 4, and I have played Final Fantasy 5 multiple times, and I've dabbled in Final Fantasy 6. But I haven't played them one after another, in a row. So if I was like a 90s, 80s kid that played the first 4 and were like, yeah, and then went directly to 5, I would probably be burnt out by the time I got to 5. Although Final Fantasy 4 did attempt at a more dramatic story as well, and Final Fantasy 4's like gameplay, if I recall correctly, everyone said Final Fantasy 4 had the hardest gameplay of the series. So I should probably play that one at some point. I'm never going to play Final Fantasy 3 unless it's the 3D remake, just because I know it was the first one to do a job system, and I just don't feel like playing it knowing full well that it doesn't have nearly as big of a flexibility, or it doesn't have nearly as much flexibility as Final Fantasy V does and some of the other entries. But I do understand that this game has similar concepts to all the other games in the Pixel series, but I still think this is unique enough to set it apart from those, even in the story. Gameplay, on the other hand, is a different matter. This game has some great gameplay. So, with that out of the way, I want to show the job system. So, each one of these jobs, there's 22 in total, but each one of these jobs has a level up system. As you can see, this one's level 0, and it takes 10 points to level this one up, 15 points to level this one up, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. The Freelancer does not have a level. Actually, I think it does later, but the Freelancer is the most powerful class out of any of them, as long as you are ranking all the other classes in the game up. Because the Freelancer is basically a build your own class, but you can only build your own class after you've unlocked skills and attributes from all the other classes. So if you max out all the classes in the game and then switch to Freelancer, you become an unkillable god. But that takes time. A lot of time. In my original PS1 playthrough of this game, I spent 53 hours playing the game. And in that 53 hours, or in those 53 hours, I think I maxed out 5 of the 22 classes for a few of my characters. So, yeah. Maxing out these characters in the original, versions of these games, or the original version of this game specifically, can be very, very time-consuming. Unless you grind, which is still time-consuming. But for now, everyone is going to be a knight. Except for Galuf. Well, maybe not Galuf. He's going to be our white mage. Oh, right, she's dead. I can't do anything with her. Now I can. So now, front, back, so there we go. Oh my god. Oh dang, I don't have another shield. Alright. Oh crap, I don't have an EMP. That sucks. And now the game officially starts, which I find amazing. No, I've played this game so much. So, now that we have our jobs, we are going to... So now I think we're supposed to go back to Tool. But we can also... Hold on a minute. There we go. Oh, I'm stuck. There we go. Beedrills. I do wish this remaster had a hard mode added to it. That would have been so badass, but for some reason they did not add a hard mode. I'm gonna farm this for a minute. So we learned cover already, which is actually very important. Because we're gonna need that. Goblins. Alright, so quickly, we're going to turn encounters off real quick because I want to showcase something. Also, keep in mind that we've gotten all the chests here. But if we go to the pirate's hideout, we have 3 chests we did not grab. So now we're in the pirate's hideout. And if you notice, all of the doors we could not go into, we can go into now. This is a completely optional area. And there we go. 3 out of 3 chests. There are a ton of areas in this game exactly like the Pirate's Hideout, where the game doesn't tell you you can go back to the Pirate's Hideout. The game doesn't hint at the fact that you can go back to the Pirate's Hideout. It's on you to remember that you left your chocobo at the entrance to this place, and for you to have the curiosity to go back to this place to see what happened to him. Like, I don't even think the story makes you come back here at all. Like, Faris doesn't even mention ever that she wants to visit her old pirate gang at any point in the story that I know of. So it is completely and utterly optional that you come back here. Now, I've never once considered, can you come back here after a certain point in the story to see if you can recruit your Chocobo back? Your Chocobo, oh my god. Saying that with illness is difficult. Chocobo. I've never once considered, hey, can you come back and get Boko back to just traverse the world with? Maybe I'll do that. Also, this is a cool little map right here. And here's the funny thing. If we look at this map, you notice where we are. Now we look at this map, it's the exact same place. They didn't have to model this map, but they did. And they added your exact location on said map. It would be cool if you switched to like different characters and then talk to the respective person and they would comment on, oh, hey Ferris, or something like that. But I guess that would add a lot more dialogue to an already dialogue-filled game. And honestly, I'm happy that there's not that many like dialogue options in this game because, like I said, it's one of Final Fantasy VI's biggest critiques is the fact that you're basically reading a book more than you're playing a video game. Which, if you like that, that's great. But for me personally, if a story is going to be told in that much depth, I would much prefer voice acting for that type of like story. But that's just me. Also, it took me forever to figure out how they made it look like people were sleeping in beds. The beds are two sprites lined up together with a empty void in between of them, or an empty space rather. So, see, you can't move this way, you can't move that way, but this allows the sprite to go forward, go backwards, turn this way, and turn that way. So, but most of the time, you never see a sprite like go here or here because that initiates movement. However, you often see a sprite will do this kind of stuff, or maybe even turn briefly to look at you, but then back to here or something like that. Or they'll start in this position and then they'll go back to this position. It's just a really cool detail about beds, and this applies to the entire Pixel Final Fantasy games. Beds have always worked like this, and it's phenomenal. That is so weird that you have to... The circle button being the run button is so weird. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase that because that is amazing. Let's go back to playing her. And now we're out of the caves. Back into the wilderness. Chocobo. There we go. Chocobo. 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 That is one difficult word to say with a cold. Or whatever I got. Alright. There we go. Now we can turn that back on. There is a way to turn encounters on and off quickly, but it's not working. See, that's pause. That doesn't do anything. That extends the map. I think on the PS4 version, I think you just click in the stick and then you can just, you know, turn encounters on and off. But for here, I think you just have to go into the menus. But I could be wrong. Probably am, because I'm not using a controller you would normally use with this. All right. So now. Ooh, squids. Actually, hold on a minute. Defend. Attack. Attack. Oh, he survived. Interesting. Actually, defend. Attack. So now I think we're supposed to go back here. Wait, no. Let us go talk to the advisor at the temple. Because I think we're supposed to talk to him. Nope. Alright, let's go back to Tool. No. Actually, yes. There's a reason I want to say yes. I love that. Like, I love that just so much. It's so stupid, but it's just, it fits. Also, remember those magics that we did not buy? Now we're going to buy them. And now we have stocked up on every magic in this building. Also, isn't there a bard quest in this game where you can find a bard in certain locations and he'll teach you more bard spells? There's a lot of hidden quests in this game, actually. Like, a ton of them. The days of going to the potion store and buying 99 of everything. We're good on weapons and whatnot. Moreover, that's a word you don't hear that often. Excuse me. And we're off. I think he still has something to say. So, does he say something different? No, he just assumes he's talking to the princess. Also, I want to talk about this picture on the wall. I noticed it during the cutscene, but can we just appreciate the attention to detail? The water is visible, the shoreline is visible, and there's like a little teeny tiny lighthouse in the far, like, distance, and you can clearly see the greenery to the right of it. It's just very intricate detail for such a small, like, picture. Now, I'm sure in the original game it doesn't look that pretty, but still. Also, oh, that's right, Ferris is gone. There's a train passing. So at that point in the story, it's hinted at that the pirates are going back to the cave, the pirate cave. And at that point, the game is hinting at you to go back to that cave. Maybe there's goodies there. Maybe you can explore it now. But the fact is, if you decided to go check on your chocobo before interacting with this cutscene, it completely breaks the immersion of, well, sending the pirates back to the pirate hideout, because if you do that first, they're already there. So again, for the perfect experience, the game kind of wants you to do these interactions in a certain order. However, it's really fun to be able to do the interactions in any order, even if they kind of mess up the flow of the storytelling this game is trying to tell. Because chances are there's tons of cutscenes you won't even get to see in this game because of how open-ended some of them are. Alright, before we do that, I'm gonna have her keep her cover. Excuse me. Also, I'm gonna switch Galuf to a... Actually, no. No, we're not. Not yet, anyway. We are going to farm a little bit right here. No. New. I've never seen the Bandersnatch before. That is a really, like, rare find. Still alive. Interesting. Still alive. Let's attack that bighorn. I know we can kill that really quickly. Ooh, shit. Still alive. Not good. Alright, it's dead. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Actually, hold on a minute. Okay, we can't look at the bestiary here. Oh, another Bandersnatch. Wait, why did I 100 damage? That was insane. He died, but that was insane. Now we can switch his job out. So we want him to be a black mage really quickly, because this is important. There we go. Now he can do black magic and white magic. We don't want to use up all of his MP though. Get back in that ship. And there should be a boss battle right around the corner. Wait, no, we don't want you. We want you to defend. So now that we have that ability, can change her job to a black mage. Give her the guard command. Give her a rod. Put her in the back row. There we go. Octopi. And here's the boss battle. Second major boss of the game. And now we have the giant lobster creature. And the reason there we go. And that is the reason I switched to 2 black mages. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Good Lord. I love this scene. It just shows them drifting just randomly in the ocean. It's a great way of doing this. Alright, so this is another section of the game that is actually pretty damn fun. Although I will admit, in the original PS1 version, this section can drag on a bit because the encounter rate on the original PS1 version is so high that you literally step 5 feet and get into an encounter over and over and over again. But we had our first death of the playthrough, because as far as I know, Sildra does not come back. There's a lot of characters that come back, but as far as I know, Sildra just does not come back. I could be wrong. Maybe there's some secret interaction where you see Sildra and she is alive. But if I recall correctly, she does not come back. Of course, I could be wrong. I don't remember every single detail of this game. It has been a year since I've last played this. Because I replay Final Fantasy V every single year, but I don't remember every single bit about it overall. But that lobster fight, the Kerberos or something like that, is an epic fight. And when I first played it on the PS1 version, it totally destroyed me. But it's another fight that once you've beaten it once, you can pretty much figure out how to beat it over and over and over again. But there are quite a few strategies to beat that boss. And that's what I love about the combat system in this game, is there's so many ways you can take out enemies, if you want to. But that'll be the end of this episode of Final Fantasy V. And we're going to end it here with a good old quick save. But I want to showcase something really quickly. So this is the bestiary where you get to see all of the creatures you have defeated. So these are all the creatures that I have defeated here. And it shows their spawn location, how often they spawn, and what they drop. So for example, a black goblin, its HP is 20, which is why it normally dies in one hit. It drops a potion. Its standard gil is 21. Its standard XP is 20. It drops... Well, you can steal a potion from it, and it drops leather shoes. And it spawns in the Wind Shrine. The Bandersnatch just gives you potions. And it spawns world map and Fork Tower. So it just spawns anywhere in the world map, and it spawns like specifically around the Fork Tower. Its HP is 120. And I believe the boss we just fought would be down here. No. There it is. So, its HP is 650, its level is 5, we've defeated 1. I don't think you can defeat more than one of these. Maybe you can. You can also have an AR battle. And AR battles are cool because... Actually, no. Well, that's actually very annoying. Alright, let's leave that. Because I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So, AR mode switches you back to touchscreen controls, which is abysmal. I feel like the touchscreen controls are not that responsive, but if you want to practice on like some specific strategies to defeat certain enemies, certain bosses, or whatever, you can replay a boss or enemy or combination of enemies as much as you want in AR battle. And it does give enemies more replay value, because if you're struggling with a certain enemy and you want to come to the bestiary and you want to fight said enemy, you can fight said enemy with different strategies, different party compositions, and just see how fast you can take out that enemy or what strategies work the best for said enemy. Which I find a amazing concept, but I also find that you typically don't need to come and fight bosses or anything like that to get better at them, because like I said, as far as I know, this version does not have any form of New Game Plus or anything. So I don't know, there needed to be more like reasons to use the bestiary's like battle feature. But it's still nice that it is there, and sometimes you just want to fight all the like monsters you fought over again. So, yeah. This is something I did not do in the PS1 version. I did not defeat all 302 monsters. However, a few years ago, I did, I think, complete this up to... I think I completed it up to 153 of the bestiary, and after that I just gave up because I was getting bored. I'm just gonna be honest, I was getting bored. You can also display the map like this, so you can specifically see like events where enemies spawn and whatnot. Great for like seeing what enemies you have missed. For example, there's a hidden enemy here that we haven't fought yet. So, I just wanted to showcase that off. But yeah. That'll do it for this episode of Final Fantasy V. I managed to complete 2 episodes, and this will be the final episode of the night, because I'm getting tired. You can probably tell my voice is starting to give out. I've been recording for 3 hours give maybe 4 hours. The editing process is going to take about an hour per video. By the time you're seeing this video, the other video is already out. But yeah, we're going to call it here. And in a day or two, I'll upload some more Final Fantasy V. I dearly love this game. I love it so much. And yeah, I just want to finish it. I want to get this out on the channel because I got one of my favorite platformers on the channel. Now it's time to get one of my favorite RPGs ever on the channel. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. And I'll see you in the next episode of Final Fantasy V or whatever I decide to do. Take care, y'all.